Welcome to the KKW Trucking Podcast. This is Dustin, once again, joined by Eddie.
Eddie Spaghetti.
Glad you're back, man. I know last month you took a well-deserved vacation, so Oscar filled in, but it's great to have you back on the show.
It's good to be back.
Awesome. Well, and there's been some changes, which we're going to get to, so I'm really excited for you. It's good stuff, so we'll be talking about that in a minute. But right at the top of the show, let's go ahead and jump into our shout-outs this week. First up, we have to give a huge shout-out to Sara. Sara Sherman from the Safety Department won Fleet Safety Manager of the Year, first place with the California Trucking Association. So excellent job.
Sarah is the best. You're the best, Sarah. Good job.
She will actually be joining us a little later for an interview segment about something we have going on with our trucks and our equipment.
Perfect.
So we'll actually get to talk to her, so I'm excited for that. Abel Acuna said that he enjoys the show. Lane Muzanowski, Karen.
Lane 12?
Yeah, exactly. Karen Holly and Oscar Guzman, I wanted to thank you guys for submitting truck photos. They send them to me on Facebook. Lane emails me, or however you guys want to send them to me. I really appreciate it. I try my best to share all of them on social media, and then I also log them for the upcoming calendar competition it'll be the calendar for 2019.
Okay.
So we're actually going to make a formal announcement about that, I think, within the next maybe 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay.
So, and we'll start taking photos because last year I took it over like in December, and those calendars didn't get out till I think it was like almost February.
Oh, wow.
So we want to have the calendars printed and in the office next December.
So what do you win by submitting the
So
trucks?
there's actually a cash prize, and then the first place winner gets to be on the cover of the calendar and as well as featured in one of the months.
Oh, wow. How cool.
So everybody else that takes photos, we normally have like a long list of photos, but obviously the top 12 are picked and they're representative of each month.
Right.
And then there's a first, second, and third prize.
Good deal. So win that. Take a beautiful picture of your truck. If you're sitting by a hill with some snow, you guys better step it up because Lane, he's really, really good at it. Everybody who submitted is good, but Lane is a photographer, truck driver.
Hey, he's
so you
awesome.
guys got to step it up and take some great pictures out there.
So I look forward to that, and we'll make a formal announcement. It'll be in the email on social media, and we'll probably talk about it here. Might even have Lane on, talk a little bit about how he takes some photos.
That'd be great.
That'd be kind of cool.
Great. It'd be great probably to do a venture with other just truck drivers, period, in the future, too.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had Lynette Brown on the show to congratulate her and talk about her platform as CTA president, but I did want to give her a shout out because she was featured on the cover of Cal Trucks magazine.
Oh, wow. Good job. Do you have that magazine?
Yeah, I have the cover.
You got to show me that.
I'll share it. I think I did share it when it came out on social media, but I had to give her a shout out on the show because that's pretty cool.
Good job, Miss Lynette.
So, and then of course, I would like to thank all of our guests from last month, Casey Swim, Chris, who's actually no longer with us, and then Oscar for helping co-host the show.
Yes, thank you, Oscar.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys, giving us time and coming on. So it's a lot of fun. And, I talked to them afterwards. They all enjoyed it. So we'd love to have you guys back on.
You also been getting a lot of testimonials too, huh?
Yes, we are upping our game. Now, it helps, Eddie, because you're actually kind of bringing people my way. So I really appreciate it. But to all of our drivers, if you have anything that you would ever, like to say either in print or on video, we'll be sure to capture that, share it. It might even find a home on the website.
Correct.
That's evergreen content.
And then another thing, while I'm in recruiting, what I'm running across is a lot of drivers are talking to other drivers and telling them how great of a company this is. If you do that, make sure you give that driver a card with your name. Stop by recruiting. We have some cards you can write your name on and give to that driver, because the driver's like, this great driver, I was talking to him in the truck stop. He loved the company. He made me want to come over. And I'm like, what's his name? Because he gets a referral. They like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you guys want to make sure you are letting them drivers know who you are, because that is $1,000 referral bonus.
Yep, that's awesome. So, and as we do, ending our shout outs every week, we have to give a huge thank you to all of our drivers.
Yes, thank you all. None of this will be possible without the drivers.
So keep doing amazing work, and you guys are awesome.
Good job.
Next up, Eddie, we have our regular segment, Quick Hits.
Quick hits.
So I'm actually, we have a couple good topics this week. I wanted to make sure we hit them timely because we have the Truck Driving Championships coming up this following weekend, April 21st.
Yes, and I'm competing. So if you work with our company or for another company, while we're out there, it's every man for themselves. I'm coming home with the gold.
Well, I'll be there. I'm going to be recording video and photos and hopefully get some interviews and capture some footage of maybe even you competing.
Yes.
So I'm excited for that. But in Quick Hits, I wanted to throw it out there. Be sure to show up as a spectator and bring your family, help support the drivers, cheer them on. We're going to have food and drinks and games. We have a lot of fun out there. If you haven't never been to one of these events, you should come out to this one. We have a lot of fun and a lot of food. I think we have our own taco guy comes out and make tacos all day for us. So come out and eat. Bring the family, stop by, grab a plate and leave and cheer at a couple of our drivers. That helps. Yeah, and it's actually, I haven't been before, but I do get the opportunity to go through the media of the company. So I went back and looked through the years at like 2016, 2015. And, they have tables set up with like coloring books for kids and there's games and all kinds of stuff.
It's nice. It's a nice event.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's something where...
Plus this year, I think Mr. Firestone is bringing out the Model T.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
So Casey, he knows how to start it. He can drive it and everything. You know that thing doesn't have a brake, but we're going to have a Model T out there to show how trucking started back in the early 1900s.
That's awesome. I've seen it. It was down in the warehouse.
Yes, it's still there.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. So next up on Quick Hits, I did want to acknowledge that our Doug Herbert Brakes Program video really blew up this month.
Really?
So it was actually really cool. I forget the final total number of shares, but we had like 20-something shares, thousands of views. It's such a great program. So I wanted to thank everybody, of course, for liking, commenting, sharing.
And any of our drivers that don't know about the Brakes event, it's called Be Responsible, Keep Everyone Safe. It's a safety driving course that they do for teenagers and young adults that just received their license, just to teach them how to drive safe out there, and if they spin out, how to regain control of the vehicle. And the reason why we go there is to teach people, parents and kids, how to drive safely around trucks.
Yeah, and it's so important because I we've talked about this before on the show, but it's like I've never sat really in a truck, and I drive every day, and all these pointers that you and Oscar and whoever kind of throws out there, I'm like, man, I did not think about that.
Right, it'd be a better world out here on the road if the DMV would just add a few more questions about tractor trailer. Yeah. The Class C driver should know a little more about tractor trailer, because when I was just driving a car, I would get in front of cars, hit my brakes. I did not know a loaded truck takes a football field and a half to come to a complete stop. That is really amazing. And I feel like it's a lot of drivers that would never get in front of a truck and hit their brakes if they knew it took them a football field and a half to come to a complete stop.
And what's crazy is, like, when you're on the freeway, honestly, you see all these trucks. I mean, you have to assume they're all loaded.
Right.
Because it's not like there's a light that's green or red.
That would be cool, too.
Yeah, you have no idea. But you're just going, assuming that it's got to be loaded. So you see people cut in front of a truck, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to get hit.
Crushed. So respect the trucks. We most definitely respect the cars around me. I treat every car like it's my family inside that car when I'm driving a big rig.
Yeah, it definitely changed my perspective. So the Brakes program is great. If you haven't seen the video, just go hit up our Facebook page or social media. You can check it out. YouTube as well.
Good deal.
So next up, the American Trucking Association, in their latest report, mentioned that the turnover rate for trucking companies dropped 7% to 88%. So just for some, obviously 7%, that would mean that last quarter, the third quarter, it was 95. That was the turnover rate in the trucking industry nationwide.
And it dropped?
It dropped. So I think we have a lot more freight, and obviously it's a competitive market for drivers. Yes. So hopefully the pay is going up for drivers as well.
A Class A license is like gold in your pocket now.
So that's just good for the industry.
Yes, it is.
So fantastic. I did want to say that 60,000, I was going to say 60,000 pounds of beer spilled on a Florida interstate.
What?
Yeah, they had photos, no video, but I was like, oh man.
What? Where's the straw? No.
Dude, I think it was Michelob Ultra.
Oh, wow.
That was the beer, but it was just a whole truck.
So did the truck turn? Do you know if it flipped over?
Yeah, I believe so. Okay. So, but everybody was okay.
Right. Good deal.
Nobody ended up hitting the truck, and the driver was fine. But it was one of those, you know how like that happens where trucks carrying odd things, like like a whole, like the freeway's covered in bananas, or like
one day I was on the road in one of those the trucks that hold the oranges.
Oh yeah,
he flipped it. The trailer. The driver was okay. Yeah, but it was oranges all over the freeway for miles though. For miles, like they were rolling. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's always, your first thought is always like safety, make sure everybody's okay. But once, you're like, wow, there's all these weird stories of like stuff that spilled onto the freeway. Well, yeah, we just had one with beer.
Wow. Is that a hazmat pickup? Like,
maybe not beer, but some of it is.
Right. Yeah, some of it do be.
Yeah, it's actual dangerous chemicals and stuff, so pretty crazy. Last thing from Quick Hits, I did want to mention that Lynette Brown and Steve Benninghoff were in Washington, D.C. representing KKW and California to Congress.
Yes.
So it was pretty exciting. They took some photos. I shared those on social media.
I saw
but
them.
It's great to see them, active in,
Yes, they are very, very active, especially Miss Lynette. She's the president of the CTA, so, she's going to be really active now. But she's always been really active in these trucks and different events. She go to a lot of events. It's either that or she's being active taking care of the pets.
Yeah.
So she is a great person.
Yeah, absolutely. So I thought that was pretty cool. And it was kind of neat. They sent photos, right? And when they went, it was snowing. In like, what is that, March? It was end of March, I think.
Wow.
And I'm like, man, that's crazy.
Well, I heard Wyoming, Montana, one of those states, they could even snow on the 4th of July.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing, and I'm glad I'm not there. But anyway, Eddie, it is now time for us to dive into our first topic, and that is your promotion to recruiting manager.
Yes. I don't know if I should clap or frown.
That's awesome.
I'm looking into these companies. There's no company pay scale better than ours. No company will treat you with more respect than we will treat you. And the owner sent an email, and he said in the email, we might not be the biggest company, but I bet you we had the biggest heart. He's willing to bet that. So that just meant that mean a lot to me being a driver, just to work for a guy that really cares about the drivers. So any drivers out there looking for a new home to come to, please reach out to KKW. You can also follow us on Instagram now at KKW Recruiter.
Yes.
Hit that link, follow me. You'll see some of my posts. I post things at the yard, our new trucks, and just try to have fun with you guys. I don't make my page too boring, but I will try to entice you guys on coming over to the best trucking company in the West. And one thing about me and recruiting that I do now that I'm over there, I do not mislead any driver. We're an honest company. We don't want to lie to the drivers. We tell the drivers the truth from that first initial call. So if you want to hear the truth, please reach out to us at 909-869-1234. That number is 909-869-1234. Feel free to give us a call if you're trying to join the best team in the West.
So while we're on the topic of recruiting, I did want to mention that Chris has actually taken another job and left the company. Mm-hmm. So, best of luck to you, Chris.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And right now, so we have you in recruiting and Israel. So, yes, if any of you, had your driver recruiter was Chris, just be sure to call Eddie or Israel and they can
we'll still take care of you.
Yeah, they'll answer any questions or whatever. So, last thing, Eddie, when it comes to recruiting, you mentioned at the top of the show in the shout-outs, the referral program.
Yes.
So it's one of the biggest aspects of recruiting.
Yes.
And we wanted to kind of hit the point home that in recruiting, we have a set of cards designed just for our drivers so that you can write your name on it and hand them out.
Yes. I don't
think a lot of people know they're there.
I can probably count about I'll say $15,000, $20,000 that drivers missed on referrals. $15,000 to $20,000. You get $1,000 for each driver you refer into the company right now.
Yeah.
You get $500 after the first dispatch and $500 after 30 days, I believe.
Yeah, it's after their first dispatch and then after 30 days.
After 30 days.
Yeah.
So if you talk to a driver out there, and you guys can just be mentioning to the driver how good the company is. Sometimes you don't know you're being interviewed. So if a driver asks you anything about the company, you should give them all a card with your name on it. That way, if they do decide to apply with us, we know that referral came from you.
And who knows? Sometimes those conversations are really short,
Yeah.
You're talking about the menu at somewhere, and then they're like, so where do you work? You say, oh, I work over at KKW. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. I really like it. And they're like, oh, nice. And you're like, well, just in case, here's a card.
Right. I asked all the drivers, how did you find out about KKW? And I've been getting a lot of drivers say, I spoke to your driver or I saw your truck. So, guys, make sure you keep your trucks looking good out there because we get good feedback on our trucks. Just make sure you're always keeping it clean. And when you do talk to a driver, let him know your name because that might be $1,000 referral bonus you got right there and you're not even.
Yeah, that's the big thing. We want to make sure that you guys know This referral program, the bonuses are real. I know you said there was one guy who got like $4,000 or something.
Yes, yes. He's killing it.
So,
and he's still recruiting. His goal is he want to do one a day.
That's crazy.
If he do one a day, that's $7,000 in
awesome.
a week.
I mean, I wish I could do that. I'm like, $7,000 in a week sounds pretty good.
It is. It really is.
But even that, like you think about the mindset that it puts you in. If you're aiming for 7 a week, but you get 1 a week, that's $4,000 a month. Right. Aim high, and you're still gonna get some referrals.
Even if you get 1 a month, that's $12,000 a year.
Yeah, that's
extra money.
That adds up.
Yes, it adds up.
So. Thank you, Eddie. Again, congratulations on the promotion. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And it's been fun so far working with you. Hopefully, we can kill it in recruiting.
Yeah, we are. We are.
All right. Now we're back with a new guest. We have JoAnne Trujillo. Is that how you say your name?
Trujillo, yeah, JoAnne.
Say it the other way, too.
Trujillo, Spanish, Trujillo, I don't care. They call me Joe.
Welcome, Joe. Welcome.
All right. Well, we're really glad to have you on the show. I think you are technically the first female truck driver we've had on the show. So we're very excited about that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Wow, so this is, I think, episode 7 or 8, something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
And hold on, she's not the only lady driver we have. She's just the first to come onto our podcast.
Yes.
And she's one of the best ladies.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
So if you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been working for KKW? How long have you been driving?
This June, I'll be here 3 years.
Okay.
Love it. I've been driving since 2004.
Okay.
What keeps you here? What is it that you
KKW
like?
KKW is awesome. And I mean, it keeps, this company is so cool. I'll put it this way. I want to leave California. The only thing holding me here is this job. I've even talked to my fleet managers and all that. I want out of this state.
Wow.
The only thing that holds me here is this job.
You're not the only one.
Good stuff.
That's it.
It's a lot of us.
This job it's great. I mean, even your fleet managers or whenever, when you come up, you can touch them if you want it.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Some companies, they're behind a bulletproof glass.
They're behind a glass.
Yeah.
Or if you need to see them, you have to call on a phone outside the door, and sometimes they never come to the door. You never get to meet them. You never get to see them. You never get to nothing.
Right.
So
I've always ever just been here.
Oh,
so
no.
Like we're really like friendly.
So, how much experience do you have total?
I've been driving since 2004.
Oh,
and
wow.
Have you done like all the different weather types and all that?
I've been through every state. I've been to Canada. I've been in blizzards. I've been in rain so bad it's buckets you can't see.
Wow.
I've been in everything.
So how many different companies would you say you've been with? I'm just trying to see how many we compare to.
Count them on the hand.
Yeah. Let's see. This is my...
You got enough fingers there?
My 5th company.
5th?
Yeah.
So we the best out of the 5 you've been with?
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Good
Are we
stuff.
the
That's
biggest,
good to hear.
Medium, smallest?
Oh, this is a smaller company.
The smallest you've ever been with?
You would probably go up. It's probably one of the smallest companies.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But the best.
The best.
That's all we care about. We the best.
The best.
It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I hear that you're going to be in our truck driving championship again.
You know what? They asked me. I was in it last year. One thing I will say about it is when you're way out there where all the drivers can, and you hear them call your name, you can hear them. Okay. When you know it's getting close, get up there with the drivers right there where you're waiting for the trucks. Because what I did is I was back over here watching them, and me and my daughter.
Missed your number?
I missed my number. I didn't hear it.
Did they still let you compete?
Oh, yeah, because
cool.
by the time I told my daughter, well, it's probably getting close because I was watching. By the time I got up there, they had already moved the truck from here to around here. Okay, so when I got to go, come on, I didn't have a chance to know how that truck went in drive, how to move the mirrors.
Right.
I would have had a chance if I'd been waiting here. Got in right away, and I could have been working with it as I pulled it around to go.
Pretty cool event. And for those that don't know about the Truck Driving Championship, it's an obstacle course where we compete against other companies. like FedEx, because they have like 1,000 drivers there. That's why I mentioned them. But guess what, FedEx? We're going to practice this year, so we coming for the win. So I am going to set up like a little course in the yard when it get close to time for us to compete. So it will be like a triangle or a rectangle in the yard where you just can try to stop and get your DOT bumper in that box. And it's just going to be where you can just drive through the yard and you can just practice at will. We just want to make sure we practicing for this year because we coming for the win. Right, Joe?
It's a lot of fun. I love it. Yes. This
will be the first year that I'm playing.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
High five, buddy. That's some good stuff.
Are you doing it this year?
Yes, sir. I'm in it this year. Last year I got whooped. Because the only reason I got whooped, because I'm a sleeper driver. I drive the sleeper, and I tried to get in a day cab because I thought it was easier. Yeah. And when you don't drive a day cab and you drive a sleeper, you don't drive a day cab, it's a lot different. The truck maneuvers different. The trailer catches up different. Everything is different. So this year, I'm in a sleeper, so I'm coming for the win.
There you go, buddy. That's going to be fun. And the food.
Oh, the food is great. Yeah. And anybody that's not in the competition, if you are here around April 21st, it is on the 21st.
Saturday.
Please come stop by, come eat with us, come cheer on the drivers, come root, because FedEx is going to have 1,000 drivers out there. So we need some of our drivers to come out and support us.
It's a lot of fun.
We got a taco man out there this year. We're going to be doing breakfast and lunch. Oscar Campo is one of our drivers.
You know, it's one of the coolest things in the world, though, when you get there. I was amazed. All these drivers, all these drivers competing to be the best.
Right.
And you're just watching, and everybody out there is so friendly to,
They
how
are,
you
they
doing?
are.
How you doing?
Right.
It's
a cool event.
nice.
Really cool event. The companies bring the best of the best toys out. Yeah. So, we're going to bring out that 2019 Volvo. We're going to bring that out. Yeah, we're going to do it big this year.
So if you wouldn't mind, talking a little bit about, women in trucking. I know it's something that, but there's a bunch of women in trucking. And if you go online, like, I'm the social media guy. I'm online a lot. There's a lot of blogs, YouTube channels, all dedicated to women in trucking.
Right.
And what's been your experience? Is there anything that stands out?
There's been good and bad. That's all there is to it. I used to train women to drive truck. I did that for like a year and 2 months. I love it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it. I was even thinking that this morning. I thought years ago, because I've been fascinated with big trucks since I was a little girl. Okay.
Now, do you come from like a trucking family?
No.
Okay.
No. No.
I was the same way. I was fascinated.
No.
That's why I drive trucks, because I used to always say, I would do that. I like that.
Yeah.
That looks fun.
It just, my friend, her stepdad, when we're still friends to this day, her stepdad he was a truck driver. And, he'd come in and I would just sit and watch him and sort of hear his stories and he'd that big truck. And I was like, man, I would like to do that. As a little girl, I don't think I said man, but as a little girl, think I would really like, and it went through. But then when I got to be 11 years old, my mother, she worked at Perry's Chuck Wagon. She was a waitress. She made enough money and tips to take us kids to Disneyland and Osbury Farm. Okay. Well, when we got done, it was nighttime coming down the grapevine. I remember seeing fire coming off a truck's brakes.
What?
Tire. Well, I didn't know it was brakes.
Know why then.
Okay.
Right.
I just seen it coming from the tires. And it scared me. Okay. So that sort of pushed the thing of, trucks and fire, But then as I got older, I went into, driving school bus, all that stuff. And I thought, man, it's in my gut. I told my brother one time, I go, have you ever wanted something so bad you could feel it in the gut of your stomach? And he goes, no, I said, and I just said one day, I said, I want to do this. This is something I want to do. I want to drive a truck. I cried. I was so scared of that thing. I cried tears, but I said, I'm going to do this. And I did. I went to trucking school and then I went to driving truck, and it's the best thing. I was even thinking this morning, I thought, I would have never thought, when I was younger, that this is what I would do, and I want to do it till I retire.
That's and not awesome. Only do it, but like you're really good at it.
Yeah, you're one of the good drivers.
Really?
Yes. You're a bracket driver.
The Southern Regional competition, if you weren't like.
That's so sweet. Yeah. And I got the thing from California Trucking Association last year.
That
was awesome. Let me tell you, that was
Which Miss Lynette Brown is the president of CTA right now.
Cool?
That is great. That's why it'd be great if we can win it.
Yeah.
Because our president will be handing us the trophy.
I know.
That'd be
I
great.
know. I know.
Believe it or not, it was a lady that made me know I can do it. No offense to the ladies, but I always wanted to do it. And I seen a lady, she blindside from off of a main street, which is Florence.
Right.
And when I seen her do that, I didn't know it was a blindside, but I was like, that lady can drive good. I always wanted to do it. I was like, I'm going to try it. I seen her do it. I can do it. And that's what made me go to school. A lady doing it.
Awesome.
And now that I still drive past that location where she backed that truck into, she blindside off of a main street.
In a sleeper?
In a sleeper.
Oh, wow.
So at first I didn't know it was a blind side that she did, but when I became a truck driver, I know what a blind side is now. And then I look at what she did. She actually wrong side of the street, got it in there. I was like, wow, this lady was good. Yeah, and homage to you, whoever you were backing that truck up on Florence years back.
That's really cool. I love it.
We're really glad you like it. We're really glad you're on the team. What would you say to the young ladies that's thinking about getting into trucking?
Go for it. We need you. Ladies, come on. You have questions. I will talk to you.
What company should she go to?
Here. KKW. Start with KKW. I'm telling you, KKW.
Don't start with, finish with KKW. Come get you one of these retirement plans.
KKW.
What's the one biggest thing you wish somebody would have told you when you were first starting?
Oh my gosh.
Good one.
Protection. To protect yourself as a woman driver.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's scary at times?
Yes, it can for a woman driver.
Right.
Just like I would tell my students, the ladies, I would try to talk to them because I'd done been out there. And they go, oh, JoAnne, or oh, Joe. No, you don't know. And then when they got out there and got by themselves driving truck, they come into a couple of contacts scenarios that wasn't real good. And they go, now I understand. I go, I wasn't telling you that thinking I know everything. I'm telling you because I've already been out there. Sure. You can protect yourself. Woman or man, but for a woman, yes.
Sure,
yeah.
Sure.
Protection.
Staying safe.
Right. Yeah.
Being alert and aware.
Yeah, alert and aware, exactly right.
Well, while we have you here, if you wouldn't mind telling us a little bit, just about yourself, things you like. I see you're wearing a Green Bay Packers bandana.
Oh, big old Packers fan.
Yeah, she's a big green
You
cheese
see
fan.
the Packers thing in the back of my window, that's me. I'm so upset. Jordy Nelson is going to the Raiders. Yeah. Oh, I cried over that one. I cried.
That was a surprise. I couldn't believe they sent him. I was like, wow, he's Aaron Rodgers' guy.
Yeah, I know.
All the cheeseheads across the nation.
Oh my gosh, I'm so upset about that.
Yeah, I always mess with you and say, I'm going to get you a Cowboys headband. And she's like, no way.
Mm-mm.
I think you got a keychain as well that's Green Bay, don't you?
I got my key right here.
All
my Packers up. That's what the mechanic told me out here. He goes, you know what? I don't know your name, but I know you're the one with the Packer stuff in your truck. Yep, that's me.
Lady, yeah.
We have a lot of Packers fans with KKW.
Oh, cool.
Dennis, Eileen. It's a lot of you guys. Angelina.
I know you're right.
Because I'm a Cowboys fan, so they all came out that game last year.
I'm sorry.
I got to point it out right now. You're wearing a Jags jersey.
That's just because this is family. That's the only reason I have on the Jags jersey. So you guys go support number 85 on the Jags. That's family.
Man.
Awesome.
No, that's it. I don't know. I would tell any woman that's wanting to drive truck to do it. And I tell these young kids when they don't know what they want to do, go become a truck driver. You got a bed behind your head. There's a bed there.
Yeah.
Go do something with your life instead of choosing just to do nothing.
And then the great thing about trucking, it allows you can get other opportunities from trucking as well. Because let's say you want to go to school. Now they have the opportunity where you can go to school online. Right. So you can get on a truck and not pay any rent, any car note. You don't have any bills. And you just pay your internet and you study online and you get whatever degree you want to get in. You're making money at the same time. So when you do get ready to go into that field, you already have some money saved up. So it's a good way to do it that way as well.
Right.
Well, I have to say, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. We were so excited to have you.
And you're going to think that I'm just saying this because it sounds good. But honestly, this is one of my favorite interviews. It just felt so right.
Really?
Yeah,
my goodness.
Good. It felt good being in here with a lady driver like yourself.
You know
I feel like you dropped so many jewels out there. Like, this was a great interview.
Oh man, there's, I love it when I see the ladies out there. We're, especially with KKW, and I say, oh, there's a, hey, how you doing? I know some of them say, JoAnne, we wait, they'll be on the other side of the road. They go, we wave at you. I'm watching traffic, and,
yeah, for the most part, they'll wave back, but sometimes they're keeping their eye on something.
Yeah,
that you might not
if I
be able
see
to
them, I'll wave or my lights or.
Me too. That's a big thing for me. If I wave at you and you're heading north on the 5 and I'm heading south on the 5 and I wave at you and you don't wave back, I'm gonna remember your truck because I'm mad at you.
Yeah, they'll tell me I waved at you. I really didn't see you. I would have waved. I promise. I would have.
Good stuff. Well, a pleasure having you here on our team.
Thanks, man.
I'm glad to be on your team. And let's keep winning, KKW, and recruit us some more women drivers. It's $1,000 for every driver you refer into the company. The way you feel about the company, it should be easy for you to sell it. So let's sell it.
Love it.
We had one driver for 4 in January alone.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And then the way it gets paid out, it's half after the first dispatch and half after 30 days. But yeah, the driver went out and got 4 drivers to come on board with us.
Is that Killebrew?
I think so.
He might be on vacation right now.
Guess what? He is getting ready to take a vacation. 3 days off.
Spring break paid for by KKW.
That's Malcolm. Yeah. Malcolm is a great recruiter out there. Keep doing what you're doing, Malcolm.
Shout out.
Appreciate it. Just keep it up, buddy.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. And hopefully, if you're open to the idea, we'd love to have you back on the show. I know you're in and out of the office, but we can always try to make it work.
Absolutely. So that was fun.
All right.
That was awesome.
Now we're back with Sara Sherman from the safety department.
Hello, everyone.
Sarah, we're really glad to have you back on the show.
I'm glad to be back.
And on this month's podcast, you actually have something actually pretty exciting to announce about our trucks.
Yes, we do. For a few years now, we've been toying with the idea of getting some cameras inside of our trucks. And we've been testing several types of cameras. In the meanwhile, we've had drivers that are asking us, hey, are we going to be getting cameras in the trucks? And we have some drivers who actually went out and bought their own dash cams and installed their own dash cams onto their trucks. And they feel that it's very important because there's so many things that happen out on the road that they cannot show proof. Something will happen. Somebody might cut them off, hit their brakes, and it's the driver's word against somebody else.
Right.
Or they're, asleep at a truck stop and somebody backs into them. And by the time they get out of their sleep and out of the truck, whoever hit them took off.
So it would even catch if somebody backed into you while the truck is parked?
It won't capture it right now. Right now, we're looking into setting some thresholds to see if that's a possibility. If we can, even while the truck is turned off, how long we can keep the cameras going. But you can, I understand there's a way a driver can actually maybe turn on this camera. Turn on the truck, hit a button and start recording.
Okay.
So these are the things that we're going to want to show videos for in the future about.
Right, how to trigger
I'm
the
getting
OER
ahead of
event.
myself right now.
Right,
yes.
Right.
But just to give you the grand scope of things.
Sure.
We are going ahead and we've begun to install these cameras into the trucks. I am being told that as of today, we have close to, or a little over 50 trucks that already have had cameras installed. Now, these cameras, they do work side by side with PeopleNet. It's called the PeopleNet Video Intelligence, or we call it the PeopleNet VI for short.
Oh, okay.
So when you hear VI, it's the Video Intelligence. And this camera is being installed right up on the windshield, up above, where the windshield wipers are going across the windshield, right above that. So it's not intrusive on the view. And it's only facing outwards. It's an outward facing camera. It's not going to be inside of the cab or, facing inside to the driver.
Is there any audio?
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say the same thing. Are you listening to my phone calls now?
No, it's no audio. It's just, all it is video. So if something were to happen, we're not going to hear anything, any reactions from the driver because sometimes, they might react.
That's what I've been telling the drivers. I let them know that we have one of the safest fleets out here in California, about our second place award that we won a year ago. Yes. And also congratulations to you for winning Safety Manager of the Year. Congrats.
Well, thank you.
Fleet Safety Manager of the Year.
Safety Manager.
Yeah.
But I've been telling the drivers that you don't have to worry about us watching the driver. It's not the driver that we're worried about. We're just worried about, like you said, people cutting in front of our drivers, making our drivers do things that they shouldn't be doing because of another vehicle, and we didn't want a person to blame it on us when it's really another person's fault.
Well, I'm going to tell you that we do have a very safe fleet. And our DOT accidents that we have for our company, 80% of the DOT accidents that are recorded for KKW are no fault of our driver. So think about that.
Good job, guys.
Of all the accidents out there that we have right now, 80% of them were at no fault from our driver.
Good.
So
good.
what we need to do is show proof of that.
Right.
Because when you're out there, as we said before, somebody gets in front of you, hits the brakes, and cuts you off and hit the brakes. We want to show that.
Correct.
If somebody, these are the things that we can now do with these cameras where we couldn't before, and it's going to help us exonerate the drivers.
Sure.
And let's play devil's advocate here and talk about the 20% of those accidents were at fault of our drivers.
Sure.
Now we have actual what really happened.
Right.
Because sometimes, I don't want to say, everybody's like this, but once in a while you might get into an accident and what really happened isn't being told.
Right.
Yeah.
It might be they might elaborate more on what really happened and make it sound like the accident was worse than what it really was.
Right.
Where now we will actually have the
Video
exact proof of
Right.
what really happened.
Right.
So it's very important. We like to say in the safety department that we're here to help our drivers. We're here to help them when there's an accident. We're here to be on your side. And all this is going to do is be another tool to help us be on your side.
Right. And that is true. I know you're on the driver's side. I seen you go at dispatch a few times. Like, hey, you guys got to do this right, this way, making sure that our drivers are safe. And that's great. And I think you should have won that award because you do a really, really good job.
Well, thank you. It was a big surprise over in Sacramento to hear about that. And I've been hearing some other managers come out and I've heard from other managers who won it in the past. And it's very nice to be included in that grouping of people.
Right.
I feel very honored.
Good deal. I think you deserve it. Congrats.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, I do have one question regarding the cameras. And if the drivers wanted to see any of this, do they have any options to go to the safety department and view footage with you?
Yes, they do. They absolutely do. They can come in and we'll be happy to review it, all the details with them and show them what we're seeing. This video intelligent, what it is, again, it's a forward-facing camera. It is only triggered when an OER event, and that is an onboard event, recording event.
Sure.
It's an event. So that means if you have a hard brake, if you're braking hard because you're trying to avoid something, it's going to trigger the camera.
And then what does it do? Go back and
at the time of the trigger, it will record 20 seconds before that trigger and 20 seconds after.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like a lot. And I'm sorry, let me repeat that. It's 20 seconds total. It's 10 seconds before and 10 seconds after.
Right.
Now, it may not sound a lot, but in a situation when you're involved in an accident, that's a lot.
Right.
20 seconds is a lot.
Right.
When you start counting it. So that's going to give us all the information that we're going to need. You also will, as a driver, be able to trigger a video recording.
So you can actually start recording.
Exactly. You can manually push a button off the PeopleNet system. And we are talking, I know that Eddie and I are talking about that, you guys are going to be doing a video.
Yes.
So Dustin and Eddie are going to be doing a video to show how you can trigger a recording. So if you see something and you want to record it, you'll be able to do that as well.
Good deal.
So also if your truck all of a sudden sways very much to the left or to the right, it will also trigger a recording.
That's the unstable alert.
Yes.
Okay.
The stability alert on the truck will trigger that. So this way we can know why, the truck was either stopping really quick, taking off really quick, or the stability. Why is it going to the left or to the right very quickly?
Correct.
And many times it may be nothing, but if it is an accident, we will have that video now.
Good. I think it's one you missed on the OER event, and that would be speeding. If the truck gets up to a certain amount of speed, then it will get that. You will get another alert for speeding. It's four ways.
It'll give you an alert, but it won't trigger the video.
Oh, it won't trigger the video.
No.
Okay.
No. It'll only do it for a sudden stop,
sudden start,
a sudden start, or a, unstable
Okay.
stability. Okay?
Got it.
Those are the reasons why it will trigger a video, and you can trigger a video. So there's 4 ways that
Nice.
a video trigger.
Nice.
Now here's the other thing is if for whatever reason it does not trigger a video, people will allow me to go and request a copy of it. And so say for whatever reason it didn't get triggered, and a good example was just this week, we had a driver at a truck stop. He had just got to the truck stop, just went into his sleeper berth, and somebody backed up and hit him.
Okay.
And took off. Well, I will be able to call, the driver reported it. We had some damage to our truck. By the time he got out of his truck, the other truck driver had left. I could go to PeopleNet and ask, at this date, on this time, can you give me the 20 seconds? So it's important if something like that happens, you guys just take note of the time it happened. We can go back and get it.
Right. So even if the event doesn't trigger, you can get the video?
Yes. It's on a
so
loop.
it's always
it's
recorded.
on a loop. And then we hold on to the loop, but we're not grabbing that information unless there's a trigger.
Okay. We don't request it unless
Yes.
something happened.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect.
Exactly.
Got
So you either trigger it by either a truck event or a driver event, or we can go back and ask for a time frame.
I know before we rolled it out, everybody, they didn't want the driver to think that we have the cameras for them to watch them to make sure, they're doing something wrong on the road. We really got the cameras to protect our drivers.
This is to protect our drivers, definitely. We do not we do not want to have our drivers out there unprotected.
Correct.
Correct. So this is just another tool to do that.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah, it's always interesting, if you know anybody that's actually had a camera either in their truck or in their car and something does happen, I mean, it makes a world of difference.
It's a lot of videos we see now because of those cameras. It was a lot of videos coming up and surfacing online and just accidents that happen in the world, which we use some for training, not from our trucks, but that's where we get some of these videos that we play during orientation for the drivers. It's coming from another driver's dash cam off of their truck. So they are good things to have on the truck, and I'm glad the company went.
Yeah, I've
for
seen
it.
the drivers that you talked about that have their own cameras.
Yeah,
and one of them showed me footage of someone backing into his truck and taking off. I actually had a buddy who had a camera on his helmet. He had a motorcycle and he got in an accident, but he had it right there on camera. Like, the lady was, saying like, he came out of nowhere, but you look at the video, he had a green light, she ran the red and hit him.
Wow.
And you're like, it's plain as day. But if you don't have that video, you're just taking each other's
just
words.
He say, she say.
It's a he said, she said, and then we have to, and it gets a little more tougher. And if we don't have any hard facts, photos are still going to be necessary after the fact.
Yeah.
Information, any witnesses, all of this is great. But, they say, what did they say? A picture tells a thousand words.
Yeah.
Well, a video is going to do even more than that. It's not just one frame of a picture,
right.
which is good. Another thing is some of our drivers who have had their own dash cams in their trucks have exonerated themselves on citizen. You get a citizen calling in saying, "Oh, your driver was tailgating me and getting too close and honking at me." And we've had this happen, where we have a citizen complaint, and I call out our driver and say, "Well, we just had a citizen just call out and say that this happened. Can you elaborate and give me some information about this?" "Oh, Sarah, I'll do more than that. I'm coming into the office and I'm going to show you my video." And they show me exactly what happened. So, this will be used, this, VI system can be used for citizen complaints for you guys too. Because how many times somebody might get mad at you and just call in and try to get you, I'm going to get this driver in trouble.
Right.
Well, now we can tell what really is going on.
Great.
So again, it's to help our drivers out there.
Nice. I love it.
Awesome. Well, I do want to say congratulations again.
Congrats.
It's exciting being here, because we have the best safety department.
We do. And Lynette gave you the award, huh? Because she's the CTA president.
She's currently CTA president.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you, it's just an honor being nominated. It's been a big honor just that KKW nominated me for this, because different companies have nominated their safety managers.
Right.
So for them for me to get the award was an honor. And then to being presented to me by Lynette at the event, was even, the cherry on top, right? It was very, very nice.
I saw the pictures. They were nice.
That was a very nice thing. Although that I am being told that all nominees they go in and when they're trying to pick out who's going to be the winner, the names are redacted, the companies are redacted. But of course, at the banquet when Lynette's giving me the award, everybody's like, right.
Yeah, right.
But it was still a very big honor, and it was just a wonderful evening. And I'm very proud of our drivers and our safety department and everybody in the company, because, safety is everybody's job.
Yes.
And I'm here to help facilitate that and to explain to everybody what our policies and procedures are and help you guys with that. But it's really everybody's job, and everybody's doing such a great job that we have won first and second place in the Fleet Safety Awards in the past. And you guys make me look good.
Yeah, you do. You make us look good. We're a team. We work together.
Yeah.
We play no big eyes at KKW. No big eye, no little eyes. No big eyes, no little U's, right?
Yeah,
that's how I go. All right, I got it.
It's all team.
We all a team. We just have different positions.
Yes.
But we do want to say thank you so much for coming on the show again. Obviously, we would love to have you back on the show. I'm sure in the future there'll be something new and exciting to talk about.
We might have to have a safety segment.
I know.
That would be great. I would love to come on and talk about, different topics that are hot, and at the time, because the different time of the year, you have different things that you got to be looking out for safety. We got summer coming up. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that everybody's doing what you need to do while you're driving out on the road.
Next, I say we get Angelina in, because we had you, we had Casey, we had everybody from the safety department but Angelina.
So
we get Angelina on the next one.
I think that'd be great. She has a lot of good information on, the road inspections and your pull notices and your driver license and your medical cards, and she'll be a good person to be able to, give some good information to our drivers.
Yes, ma'am. Sound like a plan.
I'm making a note right now.
That'll work.
So thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, and congratulations again.
Congrats.
And I hope you win many more awards, because you're really fantastic. It's a pleasure working right next to you in the training department.
Don't stop.
I learned a lot. I appreciate it. And it's great. I'm glad I'm good with safety. Safety is like the cops of the company. But Sarah does a really, really good job. And she is here for our benefit, for the drivers. She's here to look out for us. And it's highly appreciated. And you're doing a great job.
Our biggest goal is to make sure everybody gets home to their loved ones.
Right.
That's what's the main goal here, is that everybody, we all have a job to do, but we all want to go home and enjoy our loved one day at the end of the dispatch, the end of your run.
I agree. And thank you again for coming.
All right. Thank you.